Hello, beautiful peaches. Welcome to the Macros, Metabolism, and Motivation Beautiful Peach Podcast. I'm your host, Caitlen, a reverse diet expert, sustainable fat loss nerd, and food freedom lover. After healing my own mind, body, and metabolism from the icky, restrict, binge, food guilt cycles, I became obsessed with helping other women do the same. I spent 6 years getting my bachelor's and master's degrees in all things nutrition, dietetics, and metabolism health, go Clemson Tigers, in order to start a science-backed, never cookie-cutter, always customized online macro and reverse diet coaching business. I have supported over 3,500 incredible women in their journey to endless results, and I am so excited to help you do the same. In this podcast, I will be teaching you how to break up with the yo-yo diet cycles, tips and tricks to heal your metabolism through reverse dieting. I will be giving away my sustainable weight loss secrets, all without you having to give up a single food you love. So if you're ready to rediscover that self-love and truly become the most confident, beautiful peach possible, grab a pen and a piece of paper, bump up your volume just a little, and let's dive right in. And don't forget to snag your completely free high-protein macro cookbook. All you need to do is submit a quality 5-star rate and review on this podcast, then fill out the form in the show notes so I know exactly where to send your cookbook. This will actually also automatically enter you into the weekly macro calculator giveaway. Every week, I give away a copy of my C. Schmidt macro calculator to one lovely, beautiful peach who has left an awesome 5-star rate and review on this podcast. The winner is announced every single week in my email newsletter email list, as well as my Instagram story. You can't miss it. So leave that 5-star rate and review, and I will see you in the episode. What is up, my beautiful peach? Today we are going to be talking about how to deal with social pressure when tracking your macros. This is something that's super, super important around the holidays, but I want you to take what I am teaching you and really take it into the rest of your life, okay? When writing this episode, I actually had 5 tips to deal with the social pressure. I actually ended up coming up with 7 tips. There's no gatekeeping here. So let's just dive right in because there's a lot of them. Make sure you have a notepad or you can write this down in your notes because these are very actionable items. They are things where I used to have a really, really hard time dealing with social pressure when it came to tracking my macros, when it came to my goals. Not everybody's going to understand it, but these tips are going to be massively, massively important, okay? So without further ado, let's dive into episode 148, Dealing with Social Pressure When Tracking Macros. Okay, my beautiful peach, we are gonna start with our first tip here. Setting very, very clear boundaries. If you let your friends and family know upfront what your goals are and being very, very honest with them, hey, I am focusing on tracking my macros. Here's how it is helping me. It's helping me heal my metabolism. It's helping me, lose weight, heal my relationship with food, grow muscle. You are giving them your why behind why you are making these choices, and you are helping them understand why you are doing it, okay? And if you have been listening to my podcast or hanging out with me on Instagram or, wherever it might be, you know that I'm really, really big about making sure that you have the what, the why, and how. And when you have the why behind something, it helps somebody really understand what's going on, right? I talk about tracking macros. Why do we track macros? Healing our metabolism. Why do we heal our metabolism? All of these different pieces, and you have these aha moments. If you are setting these clear boundaries and you're also explaining why to your friends and family, they are going to understand why you're doing it, and it's going to allow them to be even more supportive, okay? And it might be uncomfortable at first, right? It's uncomfortable to kind of have these conversations, but those that are going to support you are going to be right by your side. And I've had plenty of clients who have had these conversations, and it's actually led to
not only their significant other or their friends being on board, but literally having them do it with them, which is absolutely incredible because it's you becoming a role model for those around you, which is so cool, okay? Number 2, plan ahead for social events. The worst is when you get to a social event and you have quite literally no idea what you're gonna eat. It not only is gonna make you, a bit stressed because you're like, shoot, now I have no game plan, I'm going to get off track, but it also allows you to make more macro-friendly choices. So before, a gathering, a holiday party, a regular party, going out to dinner, go ahead and check the menu or send your friend, if you're going to a friend's house for dinner, hey, what are we having for dinner? Love to plan ahead, right? Or just be like, hey, I'm excited for dinner. What are we having? It doesn't even have to be like, I'm planning ahead for my macros. Like, what are we eating? It could just be like, hey, I'm super excited. What's for dinner, right? Very simple. This way it allows you to, you are the one who's in control and you can make macro-friendly choices without feeling pressure in the moment, okay? Focusing on your why. So in tip number 1, we have told our friends and family our why. In this one, we are remembering why we started this journey, okay? Why we are wanting this food freedom, why we want to heal our metabolism, why we want to lose fat. I'm a very big vision board person. Every year, I love to make a vision board. I print it out at Walgreens or CVS, most places like that will allow you to print it out. I actually don't have it sitting up in this office. This is a rental. We have moved in the past 8 months, and hopefully by the time that this podcast episode is live, actually, we should be either moving into our new home that we bought. I have not shared this with anyone because I'm so nervous something's gonna happen. We are closing on our new home a week from today as I'm recording this. So, but I'm not going to go too deep into it because I'm like, knock on wood, everything should be smooth sailing at this point, but I'm like, I'm nervous. So my vision board will be smack dab right in front of me in my office. But that's the thing. I love to keep things in the forefront of my mind, the why behind what I'm doing, my goals. This helps you really stay true to your journey and remind you why you're doing what you're doing, okay? And just holding your head high. And I will say I have this note here, which doesn't technically relate to focusing on your why, but it also kind of does. Having a community of women, which is why my programs also have a community, whether you're which literally whatever program you're in, it has a community to go with it, because there's something to be said about having a coaching community, an accountability community of women who are going through it with you to help you and remind you on your why and help you stay focused on that, okay? Number 4 here is politely declining without explaining. You literally do not owe anyone an explanation for your choices. You don't owe anybody an explanation for your choices, okay? A simple, no thanks, I'm good, is enough, okay? There's no need to justify why you are making certain food decisions, okay? Number 5, practice moderation. This one's a little bit more simple, but instead of saying no to everything, right? Oh, nope, I can't have the donut. I can't have this. I can't have that. Practice moderation. Have small portions of the food that you previously thought were bad food and the food that you enjoy without going overboard. Now, because my clients track their macros, which is huge for learning portion control, right? This really helps a lot with free meals. And then also once you hit your goals, you by no means have to track macros forever. I have a lot of clients who once they hit their goals, they just go intuitive. But the cool thing about macros is you've learned, that came out so weird. You've learned portion control. You've learned how to fuel your body. You've learned all these things. So it's, kind of that journey. And now you're like, okay, I've hit my goals. I can go intuitive and be just fine. But knowing that you can have the food literally any day of your life, there's no need to eat it all right then and there, okay? Make it the next day and you'll be golden. I want to interrupt this oh so lovely podcast episode of mine to let you know that BPM, my beautiful peach mastermind, is open for enrollment. BPM is my high-level group coaching program for women who want to reverse diet to heal their metabolism from that restrictive burnout so they can lose the weight and keep it off for good. It is for women who want to increase their energy and joy for life so they can chase after their kiddos, go out to eat with their significant other, and even have wine night with the girls without that restrict
binge and food guilt cycle. As a bonus, all of my BPM clients get complimentary access to my reverse diet course, where you will learn exactly how to adjust macros for reverse dieting on your own. This quite literally includes my own personal spreadsheets that help you customize your reverse diet for your success. I even threw in my alcohol plug-and-play tracker for you ladies. Go ahead and apply through the link in the show notes or hop over to my Instagram and feel free to send me the DM BPM sneak peek for my inside look of the program details. I can't wait to see your application and enjoy the rest of the episode.
Number 6, use non-food focused conversations. People always talk about dieting. That is just something that, and it turns into a competition for so many people, especially around the holidays. People are like, ooh, I shouldn't eat this, I'm gonna be off track. Ooh, I shouldn't eat that, I'm gonna be off track. And for me, as someone who's like, you can eat literally anything. You can heal your relationship with food, heal your metabolism, heal your body, eat the food, not binge, right? Have this amazing freedom. If you're somebody who's going through that journey towards that freedom, you don't want to talk about dieting. You don't want to, okay? Redirect the conversation towards non-food topics. Or if the conversation is just sitting there and it's about dieting, number 1, don't contribute. Number 1, leave the room, go to the bathroom, go do something else, right? Shift the topic. Or if you're feeling bold, educate others on what you're doing, on the fact that you're tracking your macros, on the fact that you're healing your metabolism, on the fact that you're on this journey to break up with the diet mentality. Explain to them, why you're ditching the diet mentality and educate them. I've had clients do that in the past and actually change pretty wild. Actually, I had a client last year around this time who I think it was a Halloween party maybe, and the conversation came up, or maybe it was Thanksgiving, I can't remember. I think it was a Halloween party. And the conversation came up and she just educated them and she was like, hey, here's what I'm doing. I used to diet, I hate it. We've had this conversation every year, haven't we? And all of her friends were like, yeah, we've literally been dieting for years. She's like, here's what I'm doing. All of them started tracking their macros. All of them have been on this journey together. Bam, just like that, that friend group has now chosen as a group to be accountable with each other, to track macros, to hold each other to higher standards. And she actually reached out recently. The whole entire group, I kid you not, has either hit their goal or is almost hitting their goal within a year. And I'm like, dude, that's amazing. Amazing, right? Okay. Number 7, and this one's kind of cool. So embrace flexibility, okay? Understanding that being flexible is the key to long-term success. If you have something that's off what you had a game plan for, it's not the end of the world. You are not going to look back 6 months from now and say, oh my gosh, that one day derailed my progress, right? No, the goal is balance, not perfection. The goal is consistency 95% of the time. And remembering that progress will not be linear, okay? I have all of my coaching clients actually track their body measurements and progress pictures. I have an app that they are all able to download. They can track all of that in there. I can see it, they can see it. It creates graphs for them. It's really cool. And these are the BPM clients. And we can actually see their data and overall trends in the graph, which is really cool. And so when you get to like the 3-month mark, you can see the overall progress from those 3 months. And it's cool because it's like a little bit of ups and downs, but overall it's going up, right? It's like your IRA. But the thing there is if you're looking at it in just a week by week by week, like your only one track mind, you might see some fluctuations and you're like, oh, panic, I'm way off track. But you just have to take a step back and say, no. It's all about that consistency. And when you look at your progress over time, you will see the overall linear up, even though there might be some fluctuations slowly in there, which is pretty cool, okay? So those are my 7 tips. I really, really highly suggest following these, writing them down, putting them in your notes. If you are in a social setting, you're like, shoot, I couldn't remember the tips. So you don't have to go listen to this podcast episode again. You can just go look in your notes. Highly, highly, highly suggest, okay? So I keep trying to say without further ado at the end of my podcast episodes, but it's not what I'm trying to go for. I'm really excited for our next episode. It is going to be, let me see if I can pull it up so I can give you the exact notes here. So should you reverse diet, even if you have 10 plus pounds to lose, so 10 or more pounds, Really, honestly, should you reverse diet if you have any weight to lose? This one's gonna be really golden. I get this question all the time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make an episode for it. I should also really make an episode for, maybe I'll do that one after this one. Why not to just adjust your macros by 50 or 100 calories when reverse dieting? That is a huge no-no. So stay tuned for those. If you're not following my podcast, I think you can go to your app and go, the 3 little dots, click it there or subscribe, and you'll be able to continue to get these. So all of this being said, don't forget how worthy you are, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, beautiful peach.